This video is about identifying important properties of the graphs of functions. A function is a rule that assigns an element of one set to a unique element of another set. One of the important characteristics of a graph is whether it's and where it is increasing. Increasing means as x increases, y increases. Increasing. And decreasing as x increases, y decreases. Changeover points are called relative max and relative min. The terminology your textbook uses is local max and local min. So a local max is a transition from increasing to decreasing, and a local min is a transition from decreasing to increasing. This point here is both a local maximum and an absolute maximum because it's where the function achieves its largest y value. This function is increasing. It's on its way up until we get to x is equal to negative 2. So it's increasing from negative infinity to negative 2. From negative 2 to 0, in this region here, from negative 2 to 0, it is decreasing. And then when x is 0 to infinity, the last portion of the graph, from 0 to infinity, it is increasing. Point negative 2, 4 is a local max because it's a switch over from increasing to decreasing. 0, 0 is a local min because it's a switch from decreasing to increasing. The function has no absolute max because it goes off to positive infinity on the right, and no absolute min because it goes off to negative infinity on the left. This function is increasing starting at x is negative 5 and stopping at x is equal to negative 2. So it's increasing on the interval from negative 5 to negative 2. It is decreasing on the interval from negative 2 to 3, and it's increasing on the interval from 3 to 5. Notice that I'm only mentioning x values, intervals of x values, and paying no attention to the corresponding y values. It has a local maximum at x is negative 2, and that local maximum is 44. It has a local minimum at x is equal to 3, and the y value is negative 81. The absolute minimum occurs at x is equal to negative 5 because the smallest y value is negative 145. Negative 2, 44 is also an absolute maximum as well as a local maximum because the biggest value of y is 44. The domain of this function is the closed interval from negative 5 to 5, and the range of this function is the closed interval from negative 145 to 44 because that's the span from the smallest y value to the largest y value. This function is decreasing from negative infinity until we get to this local minimum of negative 1.6. So it's decreasing from negative infinity to negative 1.6. Between negative 1.6 and 0, it's increasing. Between 0 and 1.6, it's decreasing. And between 1.6 and infinity, it is increasing. The local min are negative 1.6, negative 2.3, and 1.6, minus 2.3, transitions from decreasing to increasing. 0, 4 is our local maximum, switching from increasing to decreasing. These 2 points, negative 1.6 6 comma negative 2.3 and 1.6 negative 2.3 are also absolute minimum because the function never gets smaller than negative 2.3. There is no absolute max because on both the left and right hand side the function goes off to infinity. The domain of this function is negative infinity to infinity. The range of this function, since the smallest value is negative 2.3, it's negative 2.3 close bracket to infinity. This function is increasing from negative 2 to negative 1. Then it decreases from negative 1 to positive 1. And then it increases from positive 1 to infinity. Negative 1 comma 0 is a local max. 1 comma negative 4 is a local min. There are two absolute mins because negative 4 is the smallest y value. The two absolute mins are negative 2 comma negative 4 and 1 comma negative 4. It has no absolute max because it's going off to positive infinity. The domain of the function is closed bracket negative 2 to infinity. The range of the function is closed bracket negative 4 to infinity. This function is constant between negative 3 and negative 1, neither increasing or decreasing. It is decreasing between negative 1 and 1. It's constant between 1 and 2. And it is increasing between 2 and 3. There are no local max or min because there's no switching from increasing to decreasing. This function is increasing from negative 1 to 0, decreasing from 0 to 4, and increasing from 4 to infinity. 0, 0 is a local max. 4 comma negative 10.67 is both a local and an absolute minimum. The function has no absolute maximum because it's going off to positive infinity. The domain of the function is from negative 1 to infinity. The range of the function is from negative 10.67 to infinity. This function is decreasing from negative 2 to 0. From 0 to 3 it is increasing, and from 3 to infinity it's decreasing. 0, 0 is a local min. 3 comma 4.5 is a local max. This endpoint here is actually an absolute max because 8.67 is the biggest y value. This function has no absolute minimum because it's trailing off to negative infinity.